Welcome to part 3. Right, I have spent not some inconsiderable time, I might add, thinking about this. And I have made, I've not prepared anything. Blimey, here we are. I've made some of the formers in a solid state. Now you'll probably really notice that B1 and B2 are almost identical, but obviously they come up like that. Now I'm going to finish these off sometime today by offering in the bottom come on, can't remember the name of it. Anyway, the bottom bit, so I know where they slot in. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So they'll look like that. Okay. I've also done the headrest as well. It goes on there like that. Now, put a lot of thought into this. And I did some measuring because I trust these to be good drawings. So I'm going to need to put a hatch in. Now, I did consider going underneath, but I've got the wing here. But I have got quite a bit of space there and here. So I measured it. Now, originally I was going to put a hatch in along here to there. And I thought, is that going to be big enough? And I thought, well, can I take it to the cockpit? And I thought, well, I've got this windshield here, so I can bring it forward to the cockpit, which means I've got to make 2 more formers here. Now, can I lift that up and miss the wing? So I measured it, and I make that 58 millimeters from the top of that reinforcement to the bottom of the wing, 58 millimeters. The width of that is 29 millimeters, so it gives me 1 millimeter gap. Now between here and there, this is 28 millimeters, and I have a distance of 32 millimeters clearance from there to there. So if I do that as big as that, that gives me a 1 mil clearance there. So I have to lift this up and pull it forward towards the propeller to get this out, and hold it in with a magnet here, a magnet here, depending on how many magnets I've got. If you are stuck for magnets and you've got a broken motor, take the motor apart. There's magnets inside. They're absolutely brilliant, and they'll be free as well if it's a broken motor. Or maybe, actually, this is not going to be flying that fast, so maybe just a pair of magnets here this side and another pair the other side. And then, probably with a Dremel, take out some of this former here and get the battery as far forward as I can. I want to get as much weight as far forward as I can, because this here is they call it the point of balance. In the UK we call it the centre of gravity, or C of G. Now, the only reason I've got as far as I have with these is because I've run out, and the shop opens tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So I'll be going down and getting some more wood and materials and stuff. And the reason I am thinking of doing certain things is I think I will make a fuzz to the plan, so I know what it physically looks like, and then I can make a second one using that method and then jig out what I want there. But I do know that I've got to get all the weight as far forward as I can, because I think that tail is going to be quite heavy. So that's where we are with that. Now then, just a quick shout out to Cliff Harvey. I know you're watching, Cliff, and Tim the Plane Man. I know he's watching as well. Cliff came up with quite a good idea on his Newport. Something I thought about using a bell crank in the wing to move the ailerons. Now, I haven't dismissed it out of hand or anything, but I've ordered 2 servos that are 1.7 gram. Now, if those servos fit inside the contour of the rib nice and neatly, I may use that. If they don't, then I might pinch Cliff's idea with the bell crank, which is going to be a bit more work, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is then I'm going to construct the fuselage as per drawing and instructions using the original parts, and then as I get momentum with that, will more than likely build a second one using that and compare both. And you know, if I've got enough materials, I can build 2 models out of this if I wanted to. Let's see what happens about that. It could be quite exciting to do a comparison like that. Actually, do you know what would be really cool? If Tim and Cliff made one of these as well, and we had a bit of a competition, see which one flies the best. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they're up for that. Yeah, actually, I could pitch their ideas and put it on video and use it on mine. That would be so cool if that could happen. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So I'm waiting for the shop to open tomorrow. I can get my servos. I know they've got the ones I want. They haven't got the 1.7, but I've ordered those. They'll get posted probably tomorrow when everybody goes back to work. And so then I can move rapidly forward. So I'm going to start the fuzz, which means I've got to turn this over. And that's where we're going to be at. I'm not going to look at the wings just yet. Otherwise, I'll be taking in too much information. But I think if I get to a certain place with the fuzz, then I can look at the wings, because the wings, I have to discover. Well, let me just put this like that. There you go. I need to discover what certain things are for, and I think this is for the struts. These are for the struts on the bottom wing, and I think this is the struts here and here for the top wing. And so there's an F3, yeah, that's it. Okay, so it's okay. I've been doing a lot of rummaging around. If you can bear with me, I'll turn the sheet over, which is the only complaint I have so far with this. This is what I'm thinking of doing. This is H3 and that's F3, so this is where the struts are going to go. I have to cut out the wing rib off the wood there and discover exactly where those struts go in relation to H3 and F3, because what I might do is add a rib here along there. This dotted line is the design for the aileron if you draw it on with a pencil, but obviously it goes forward of this strut here. So what I will do is add a strut there, bring that rib in there, and then make another quarter rib there, so I can make that into an aileron. And what I lose in this area here, I gain in this area here, in surface area, to make the aileron work efficiently. And then what I might do then is, I may or may not add ribs, I don't know, but what I will be doing is adding these forward ribs here, what I call a quarter rib, and I'll add them in here. Then what I might do then is add some stringers to the top to keep that aerofoil shape, because this is, I want to get more lift out of this wing, make it more efficient. Yet it will add some weight to the wing, but it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that much. But I have to concentrate on the bottom wing, because if I do put the servo in the bottom wing, which is the one that matters, this only needs a link then, and that's easy. That's not a problem at all. And I may do the same with the centre sections, is probably add some ribs in there. Now, interestingly, I'm looking at the drawings and so forth, and they do not give an angle for that rib. So what I might do is add a rib on this side and glue it in at an angle. Now, this drawing here, if I go with that dihedral from the flat bottom to the top of the dihedral is 18 millimeters either side. Now this shows the trailing edge. This one shows the leading edge. So be aware of that if you're following this and making one, that this is the leading edge, that side's the trailing edge, and this is where that rib is, that rib there. So that's part of the centre section. So in other words, what I'm saying is, if I put a dihedral in, it would be better if I add a rib with that angle on to get that dihedral. Now, the thing is, there's only one thing that confuses me, and if anybody can help me out with this one, it says scale dihedral both wings, but this is shown flat. So 13/16 is 18 millimeter. So should that top wing be flat? Interesting question. Interesting question. If it is flat, then I won't need to do any of that shenanigans. I'll only need to do it on the bottom one. So there is the question: to flat or to not to flat? Yeah, there lies in the rub. So there we are with that at the moment. So I think I'll end it here just for now, because I've got to get down the shops, get my servos. The others are on, they're in the post. I'll probably get them Monday or something, which would be for the wings. So I'll just concentrate on the fuzz for now, see how far I get some spare wood in from the shop. The servos I'm intending to put inside the fuselage, which will be, yeah, there we go, around about here. So I'll use maybe a 4.7 gram twin servos. I've marked the C of G there, centre of gravity there, so I'm going to try and push everything as far forward as I can to B3, which is there, that's B3. So this becomes a hatch, battery goes that way. I've the height of B5. Now obviously, like I said earlier, if I build this with the original parts, I may be able to put a servo tray here and have the servos upside down and then come through this way, which I think would work, or have them on the top. But the thing is, if I have them on the top, I'm going to have problems getting batteries in and out. So I might have to put the battery servos further this way. But I think that takes further investigation. So once I've got this in sort of one piece or one half at least, I'll be able to muck around a bit with that a little bit and see how it turns out. So a lot of thought to that. So any ideas and suggestions will be most welcome. And there you go for now. That's the way I'm going to approach it, and I will get back to you as soon as I got my bits. So there you go.
I'm bored. Blah! Bored. I'm bored. Nah.